Julian Marquez versus Safarov. We got minus 300 on the returning Julian Marquez and plus 250 on Safarov. And the reason I emphasize the returning Julian Marquez is he hasn't fought since the UFC still had that FS1 deal with Fox Sports. Specifically, he hasn't fought in close to 2.5 years when he fought Alessio Di Carico, where he lost a very close split decision in July of 2018. And now here he is back against Safarov. I believe he's had to deal with a huge amount of injuries in that amount of time, and now he's finally back and ready to go. And I think this is a solid matchup for him to come back to. With that said, Safarov, on his best day, could potentially beat a guy like Marquez, who's coming back from such a long time off. That's what gives me a little bit of a hesitancy in terms of saying that, okay, Marquez should absolutely go out there and, win this fight and be deserving of the minus 300 price tag that they currently put on him. If this is Marquez off of like a 6-month layoff or something like that, I'm completely okay with that. And I'd probably say, okay, Marquez, first team, all lock of the night. You know what I mean? But not this time around. So Safarov's only win in the UFC has come against a guy named Nick Negamora. Okay, let me try this. Negamorianu. Whew, that was a tough one. But yeah, he beat him back in March of 2019, and then recently he came back in March of 2020 and lost to Rodolfo Vieira via arm triangle at UFC 248. Then again, pretty much everybody saw that coming. He was a plus 470 underdog going into that fight. So pretty much exactly what everybody thought happened. So in Saparbeg's UFC career, he's 1-4. He lost via punches and elbows to Gian Vellante in round 2, lost to Tyson Pedro via Kimura in round 1, beats Nick Negamorianu, and then loses to Rodolfo Vieira, and then now gets a returning Julian Marquez. So let's talk about what Saparbeg looks like when he actually wins. When he wins, he's able to go out there and pull off takedowns, able to kind of just lay on his opponent, land some good shots, maybe hold on to the cage a couple times because that's something that just habitually happens for him. He did get a point taken away from him in that Nick fight, but it did not matter at all as he was just absolutely laying it on that guy. That guy did not look like UFC level at all, even though he was 9-0. But if you just go back and watch that guy's tape, you see the type of opponents that he's going up to, and you can absolutely say that this guy is first team all can crusher. That's what could be for my man Nick. And I don't think we've seen him in the UFC since then, and I wouldn't be surprised if we never see him again either. But Safarov, it's tough, man. If he's not able to go out there and get his takedowns and really implement his top pressure, it gets a little bit dicey. And I can see Julian Marquez being successful in keeping this fight on the feet and getting his hands off and possibly even finishing Saparbeg in the second round. And that's the spot that I think I'm leaning here. I'm not the most confident in playing Julian Marquez here, and I probably will pass on this just due to the layoff. But Safarov, in my opinion, is not UFC level. Yeah, I don't know what more to say about the guy. Like, I think everybody pretty much has their thoughts on Safarov, and it's pretty much all the same. Like, the guy has decent stand up, nothing that will really blow your hair back or anything. But it's really him implementing his takedowns, him grinding you up against the cage, and him just riding you on top for him to be successful. But even that isn't like the greatest. That's the issue for him. He's not like an expert at it. Like he's just good enough to beat guys like a Nick. You know what I mean? He's not going to be able to do that to Julian Marquez, in my opinion. Who, in my opinion, has also fought much tougher competition, much tougher guys that are that would be able to take him down more than Saparbeg would. And he's been able to get back to his feet and really let his hands go. Like the Phil Hawes was a perfect fight for him to showcase that, where he's able to endure the grappling of Phil Hawes in that first round, then come back in the second round and just absolutely knock him out. And I could see that being the same thing here, where Safarov just tries to time and time again try to drag this fight to the ground, but Marquez does a good job of keeping the fight on the feet and pulling off a submission from there. I find it interesting also that fight was the Creco fight was at a catch weight, and this fight is at 185. Yeah, I don't know. I think Marquez is definitely a bigger middleweight as well, too. 6'2", 72-inch reach, 6'1", 78-inch reach for Safarov. But once I think we see them side by side, you'll definitely see the size advantage for Julian Marquez. He's a little bit more thickly built, hence the smaller reach. But I don't think Safarov has any crazy distance management where, that 6-inch reach advantage is really going to come to fruition or anything here. So I'm going to take Marquez to win this fight via TKO, probably second round or so. But yeah, it's tough to trust him coming after such a long layoff. Who knows how insane that the injuries or how much of an effect they actually have on him. Again, I do like the training camps he is out of too. Sometimes he's over there at Glory Kick or Glory MMA with James Krause and Zach Cummings and those guys. And then sometimes he's over at Syndicate and Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. So I've seen Instagram pictures of him at both spots. So he's getting in that work. He's priming himself for his UFC return, and I think he'll get it done against Safarov. But you wouldn't catch me playing that minus 300 here on Marquez. Hopefully we get some people that are confident enough in betting on Safarov and we get a better line on Marquez. But yeah, outside of any like D-Gen parlay or anything like that, I don't think I'll have much action on Marquez here, but I do like him to win this fight via knockout. So yeah, final prediction, Julian Marquez, second round knockout.